The United States versus England, a battle as old as time, renewed on November 25th, Black Friday at the World Cup. Now, we see Harry Kane here on the screen. He's obviously a very important part of the English attack. He's interesting to me, Harry Kane, because, yes, he scores goals like a 9, but at least when we see him with Spurs, like, he'll drop in and play
like a 9.5, right?
Almost as a 10.
Yeah.
How do you defend this guy?
Right. This is for the audience. This is a different scenario. Here we can see that the England national team defend with 3. Most people call it línea de 3, but it's not like that. It's 3 defending, because if they are well positioned, then Maguire should be there. And it's not a straight line. It's always like a sweeper. And 2 central defenders. We would call, for this scenario, the central defender and the arm, the left arm and the right arm. Now, when you play with 3 in the back, then the key is who play outside. In the World Cup in Brazil, there were 3 national teams that played with that system: Holland, Costa Rica, Mexico, and Chile. And out of those 4, 3 play with outside midfielders that were more attacking. Holland, Blind, and if you remember here, Coit, that at the moment was a central attacker, number 9 for Liverpool. Chile played with Bosellur and Islas, and Mexico played with Paul Aguilar and Miguel Ayun. And the only team that played with defenders were Costa Rica. And if you remember, they played a great game against Italy, but defend with 5. So this is the first thing we have to clarify here.
England will not be defending with 5.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly, because Shaw is a left full back, right? And we know that in his club, he's always attacking. Walker, in his club, he's always, whether he plays here in the back 4, he comes inside and attacks all the time. So that's the most important thing, that they are not going to defend with 5. They're going to defend with 3 and have 2
outside backs.
Outside backs, thank you, that go all the time forward. That means that Sterling can come inside, right? That Foden can come inside and leave these 14 meters here and 14 meters here for the outside backs. So it's very difficult to play against that system. Very difficult. Now, what the USA has to do is right back against the outside back, and same here, and play 1v1. And in here, this is what they have to do. They have to bring Adams back so he can take him and adjust to the way they attack.
Wow, that's a lot of one-on-one. Wouldn't that make you nervous as a
I
coach?
will be.
Yeah.
But that's what basically England force you to do.
Right.
Because as we know, Sterling, his best days, this is a perfect example. A right-footed playing on the left side, and he can come inside. Worse yet, Foden, left-footed playing on the right side, he can come inside. And this is a very, very extremely difficult thing to do.
So you've just explained what England wants the U.S. men's national team to do, and it's going to make things very difficult for the U.S. men's national team. But as I'm looking at the board, Profe, when there's so many attacking players, I'm looking at a lot of space that the U.S. men's national team can take advantage of, maybe in transition.
Absolutely. Very good question. So what will be those spaces? Here and here.
So between the center backs and the wing backs, as we would
Because
say,
the
yeah.
wing backs or the outside backs, there's always a space there. And Dyer, because he's a natural central defender, he will not like to go outside. Stones, yes. Because if we have been seeing, or we have been watching what he is doing in Manchester City, now he plays in the back four as a right full back and he comes inside. But at this size will be very, very special point of attack for the United States.
If that's the case, I like having Tim Weah there because he could do some
It's
damage.
a lot of speed.
And you know why? And this is very important. In my opinion, my humble opinion, I think the most difficult position to fill up in modern football is a central left-footed defender. He is not left-footed.
Is that a problem for England?
To me, it is.
Yeah.
Yes. And they don't have, that I know, somebody that can play there. That's what makes France very good. Because in here can play the guy from the Paris Saint-Germain. He will come to my
Kimpembe.
mind. Exactly. And it's very different when you have a left-footed playing here as when it is a right-footed player here. So it will be a decision that the U.S. national team has to take. Whether we defend here 1v1, and every time we get the ball, we play out wide, and we force the right arm or the left arm to come and cover that space. Remember, it's 14 meters. That is plenty of space to be exploded.
Profe, we've seen England struggle in the Nations League. Where do you think the U.S. men's national team could take advantage, if they can at all, versus
Pace.
Pace?
Pace.
Okay.
Pace.
For pace, you think that's where they match up well?
This is a great player, good running with the ball. I don't know him very well, but if the United States decide to play this system with pace outside, then they will have a chance.
So let me ask you a question here. We're thinking big picture, right? And you've focused on a couple areas that are key here. You say the outside backs, which you have here is Serginho Dest and Anthony Robinson, are going to have to do a lot of work one-on-one, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Serginho Dest, if we know about his virtudes, his qualities, he's not really a defensive player at right back.
Not
He's
at
an
all.
attacking player. So let me maybe throw in, who do we throw in? A Reggie Cannon, right? Is a more defensive player at right back. For this game, Anthony Robinson's pretty good one-on-one. Would you maybe put a more defensive player at right back than an attacking player to make sure you're good in that one-on-one?
I will do that. And I will take this chance to explain to our audience, because they probably think in this way also. You can always do this adjustment. So the right back goes with the outside
The wing
outside
back.
back, yeah.
wing back. And then we go this way.
So you drop your 6 and you're basically 5
And you
across the
leave
back?
this guy open all the time. That's also a strategy that they can do. The first part, when I introduced my first initiative, was playing 1v1s. Because as we know, football is decided in the offensive third, and the 1v1 situations.
Without having to go in too much detail about Ferreira himself, but the 9 for the U.S. men's national team, in a game like this with 3 center backs, what kind of attributes does he need to have?
I think he has to be fast. Because obviously, and again, because Hercules asked before, with Walker coming in here and Sean coming in here, then U.S. will defend deep, right? But the space will always be here, in here and in here. And any transition will be chaos for England.
So to Juan Carlos's point, if you need speed out of the striker, we know the pool. Who would you go with then? Is it Ferreira? Is it Sargent?
It could be a Sargent. He's deceptively fast, and he's got good size on him and great technical ability. And plus, you've seen him overall in his time when he was at Werder Bremen and also Norwich. I mean, he has to defend. He rolls up the sleeves. So it could be one of those fights, and it could be a transition chance that could be the difference for the U.S. men's national team.
All right, there we have it. The USA against England. Can't wait for it on Black Friday.